Hello there. Like many businesses, Stilty Wood is always looking for the most interesting price for goods and services. To get the best price, creating some competition between our suppliers can be useful. To bring out their competitive spirit, Stilty Wood will use call for tenders. This is a special procedure to request offers from multiple vendors so we can choose the best to purchase from. By doing this, we will also be sure our suppliers won't take us for granted. Call for tenders will also help us save time when contacting each vendor and choosing the best offer. And when it comes to the public sector, organizations are often legally bound to release a call for tenders for the purchase of goods and services. In Udo, this can be done by adding alternative requests for quotation or RFQs for different vendors. Once a response is received from each vendor, the product lines from each RFQ can be compared and a decision can be made for which products to purchase from which vendor. So, why don't we try this at our company? Let's see how we can do this right now on Stealthy Woods database. Alright, here I am on my database. Let's go ahead and jump to the purchase application. Compared to the previous older version, there are a lot of changes inside this latest version. In the previous version, you were able to create call for tender and blanket order separately inside a menu called the agreement types. But here, we don't have such a menu for creating them separately. Instead, under the Orders tab, we have Blanket Order tab that is here. You can create a blanket order separately, but you don't have such a menu for Call for Tender now. You guys might be wondering where this Call for Tender is. Right. So before going on to that first thing, which you have to do is make sure inside the configuration settings, you have enabled the purchase agreements. Under the order section, click the checkbox next to purchase agreements. Doing so will enable the ability to create alternative RFQs. So let's go ahead and save this, and then we're ready to create new call for tender. So let's go to orders, and then we're going to go request for quotation. Let's simply create a new one by clicking on the new button. Once a PO is created and sent by email to a vendor, alternative RFQs can be created and sent to an additional or alternate vendors to compare prices, delivery times, and other factors to make a decision from which vendors to order which products. Okay, so this is a request for quotation form. From this alternative tab, the thing that we call for tenders are all will be done. To create RFQs, we will first put either the name, TIN, or email or reference we want to purchase from. On this first alternative RFQ, we will put Bob's Discount Furniture. Then what I want to do now is actually add the products that I want to purchase from the vendor and also specify the quantity as well. So I simply just want to purchase an office chair and put number 1 in quantity. And then we're going to go ahead and save this. To create alternative RFQs, click the Alternatives tab. I click Create Alternative. Okay, here a Create Alternative pop-up window appears. From this window, we will choose Cheer Up Furniture. Next to this, there is a Copy Products checkbox that is selected by default. When selected, the product quantities of the original PO are copied to the alternative. Leave the checkbox checked. Once finished, click Create Alternative. This creates and navigates to a new RFQ. Since the Create Alternative checkbox was left checked, this new purchase order form is already populated with the same products, quantities, and other details as the previous. So basically, what we are going to do is RFQ within an RFQ. Once ready, create another alternative quotation by clicking the Alternatives tab And once again, click Create Alternative. This time, I choose a different vendor which is Walker Edison Furniture. This time, we uncheck the Copy Product checkbox. Then click Create Alternative. This creates a third or new purchase order. But since the product quantities of the original PO were not copied over, the product lines are empty, and the new products needed to be added by clicking Add a Product and selecting the desired products from the drop-down menu. With that, we will choose the office chair, the product that we want to purchase and the quantity we need, which is only one, and then save it. So a total of 3 RFQs are there. If you go to the alternative tab of the third RFQ, you will find all the 3 and you can see the total as well. Let's go back and specify the total. I click the Bob's Discount Furniture RFQ and assume that the unit price is 5,999 pesos and then save it. Going back to the second one, you go again to the Alternatives tab and click Cheer Up Furniture, assuming that the unit price for this is 3,500 pesos and then save it. Going back to the Alternative tab, we then click the third one, Walker Edison Furniture, and set the unit price as 8,500 pesos and then save it. Now you can see that the total amount for each vendor is now visible. We are in the RFQ of Walker Edison Furniture, and as you see, its font is a bit darker than the other two because it is the RFQ we are currently in, and you are viewing the other two through the RFQ of Walker Edison Furniture. Now, if you want to compare the product lines, you can simply click on the Compare Product Lines option over here and then you can see the comparison. Here, you can take a look at the prices and you can see that this unit price of 3,500 pesos was shown as the cheapest or least expensive one. If you just take a look at it, it is shown in green color. It just implies that it will be a better option because compared to the other two different vendors, it has the cheapest price. We have 3 RFQs that have the same products but different prices and vendors. As you can see, every alternative there's 2 options, the choose and close option. Using the choose option, we will choose the better price which is the cheapest one. Obviously, it is Cheer Up Furniture. Here, we can now click the choose option. This makes the other options for the other 2 alternatives gone and have 0 totals. And now, let's go back to the RFQ. I click Cheer Up Furniture and then confirm the order. Alternative warning pop-up window appeared and what you can see is that you have the option to either keep the alternatives as well as cancel the alternatives. And that's the specialty of the call of tender. If you're creating three RFQs, if you're confirming one, it means you either have to keep the other 2 alternatives or cancel them. Today, we will click this cancel alternatives, which cancel all the other alternative RFQs link. Finally, click Request for Quotation to navigate back to an overview of all RFQs. Now we can see one has become a purchase order and the other 2 are cancelled. The cancelled orders can be seen grayed out and listed with a cancelled status under the status column. So that's how we perform call for tender. That is the purchase agreement which is called for tender by using the alternative tab. It is super easy and super convenient, so you should definitely take advantage of this feature. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.